Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai has commented on the contractor suicide case, and he has said that they are in fact awaiting the preliminary probe report. The Chief Minister has also promised action only after the probe report comes in, and he is also hit back at the opposition, saying that the Congress party in fact has no moral right to protest, as many murders have happened when the Congress was in power in the state.
Yesterday the postmortem is over. Now preliminary inquiry will come. Once in the preliminary inquiry, what is reported, then further what to be taken, done or not to be done, we'll see.
My colleague Neha Hebale now joins me live on the broadcast. Neha, we just heard the Chief Minister of the state, Mr. Basavaraj Bommai, comment on this entire incident. However, he is not mincing any words when it comes to the Congress party and the protests that we have seen since yesterday that have been carried out by the Congress.
Well, that's absolutely right, and it's important over here to mention that, the Chief Minister has not exactly ruled out taking any action. Yes, he said let the preliminary report come and then action would be taken. However, important to mention that, in fact, in terms of investigation, at least, what we do know is, as per our sources, that nobody has been called in for questioning yet. The postmortem was only completed last night, and following which, in fact, the body reached Belagavi this morning, and the last rites, in fact, were conducted. However, it is also crucial to bring back what the Congress has been saying all along. They, in fact, have been protesting right now, demanding the sacking of the minister and also demanding his arrest over here in the state of Karnataka. In fact, the Congress today would be taking out a rally right from their office over here on Racecourse Road all the way till Krishna, which is, in fact, the Chief Minister's official residence. Now, it's not only the Congress, but even the Aam Aadmi Party yesterday had, sort of gherraud the Chief Minister's residence over there. They were stopped, of course, at the Kumarakrupa guest house, but they did sort of attempt to. So even as we're talking about today, the line of investigation, the pressure mounting, the minister himself, remains unfazed. The minister, KS Eshwarappa over here, has said that he would not resign at any cost until such time. Yesterday, at least, we did see, a tone wherein in the morning he had said that if the Chief Minister asked him to resign, then in that case he would. However, later towards the afternoon, we actually saw, in fact, how that he wasn't exactly, willing to resign. In the afternoon, he made it very clear. So we'll really have to wait and see at this point in time. Also important, Griha, to bring up over here the allegations that have been made by the, Contractors Association, wherein they have said that many other ministers too have been taking a commission. Joining me right now is the party president, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. Sir, first of all, today I'd like to ask you, the Chief Minister has said that the Congress has no moral right to protest because, there were several murders that took place during their time.
If any Congress party has done, let they take an action even now. We are least bothered. Chief Minister also is responsible for all these things. He is being covering up. The Contractor Association has said the murder, it is a blatant murder. So he has been accused, the entire family and everyone, including Mr. Santosh Patil, who has died, in officially written a letter to the Central Minister. Then he has sent a message to the Prime Minister, Chief Minister and Mr. Eshwarappa, who is responsible for this. I think it is very shame on the Chief Minister of Karnataka for having protected. I think he is also a party to this.
So now one thing, yesterday the Contractors Association said that it's not only KS Eshwarappa, another 8 to 10 ministers have also been, taking a commission. They mentioned Mr. Sudhakar, they mentioned Mr. Govind Karjol as well. But Mr. Sudhakar yesterday, has spun this around and said that the Congress is using the Contractors Association. So how far do you think that's right?
See, if he feels that, let it take action on them.
Yeah.
Last 7 months, 8 months, last June 7th or something, Kempanna gave a letter on that. Why the central government or state government could not take an action on him? They could have taken a legal action. If they did not have the guts to take a legal action because they are party to it. They know that they are paying. It is not, Contractor Association is a legal body. They have every right. This is a democratic government which they can, whatever their feeling is there, they can express. So why didn't the government take action on those people?
Yeah. And so far, we have not seen any questioning or anything in the line of the police investigation as well. Do you think that the police has...
No, see, when did the death happen? When FIR was being done? when the postmortem was been done, when the body was being taken to Belgaum, it shows that the government itself is covering this entire incident.
Okay, thank you. Well, that was the Congress party president over here, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, stating that the government, has, of course, sort of shielded him, that the government is not doing enough at this point in time. And that's precisely what the family has also said, that why are arrests not being made? And that is the big question. Of course, the sacking of the minister is one aspect of it. But on the legal front, it is important over here, to actually question as to why the minister himself, has not possibly resigned on moral grounds. The chief minister has, yes, said he would take action. But on the line of the investigation, at least, we'll have to wait and see whether any arrests come in, at least of the aides of the minister, and, what really happens, of course, and what would the chief minister, decide on this. That is something that time would have to tell us. Back to you.
Absolutely. Neha, thank you so much for getting us that all-important reaction of D.K. Shivakumar. He, of course, along with the Congress party, is maintaining a very, very firm stand. They are continuing with the protests. Neha Hebale is getting us all the reports which are to do with this particular story. Remember, we are talking about KS Eshwarappa. He, in fact, has been charged with abetment to suicide in the contractor Santosh Patil's death. And now the chief minister has also responded, saying that we can only go ahead and take any action once the probe report really comes in. We have to wait and watch what really comes out of the state of Karnataka, which is really in a political turmoil at the moment.